Have you been in Ontario waiting for its PNP to reopen? Ontario has just made the biggest changes to its PNP system in years. First, it revoked all of its old streams and replaced them with one new stream called the Workforce Priority Stream. And just this week, Ontario published the scoring factors that will decide who actually gets invited under it. This new stream is designed to better match Ontario's labor market needs. But who qualifies? Do you need a job offer? How exactly will your profile be scored? And why does your job location matter? Stay with me till the end because the last one surprised everyone. Ontario introduced the Workforce Priority Stream as part of broader redesign of its provincial immigration system. Instead of having multiple streams with different eligibility requirements, Ontario is moving towards a more flexible system that allows the province to invite candidates based on the current workforce shortage. The new stream focuses on one key objective: connecting employers with qualified workers who can help fill positions that are difficult to staff in Ontario. One important thing to know is that Workforce Priority Stream is divided into three different pathways, and each pathway has its own eligibility requirements. Let's go through them one by one. Pathway 1, Tier 0 to 3 occupations. This pathway is for skilled workers who have a qualifying job offer in occupations classified under Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3 of Canada's National Occupation Classification System. These include occupations such as RN, supervisor, managers, software engineer, financial advisors, electricians, mechanics, and many other skilled occupations. Generally, applicants must have a full-time permanent job offer from an eligible employer in Ontario to be eligible under this tree. Now, when it comes to work experience, this is where most people get confused. So listen carefully. There are 4 different ways to meet the work experience requirement under this stream, and you only need to meet one of these criteria. Option 1, you have 6 months of verifiable, consecutive, paid full-time work experience in the job offer position within the last 1 year of when you apply. In simple words, you are already doing that exact job for the employer. Option 2 is for recent Ontario graduates. There is an exception for those who have graduated from eligible Ontario institution in the last 3 years of applying, meaning a degree or diploma that took at least 2 years of full-time study, an Ontario College graduate certificate, master's, or a PhD. These graduates are eligible to apply after just 3 months of consecutive experience in the job offer position. In addition, recent Ontario graduates also do not need a language test result to be eligible. But of course, if you have one, there is no harm. Instead, that would contribute to points in your profile. Option 3, at least 2 years of cumulative paid full-time work experience in the same occupation as your job offer gained within the last 5 years of applying. Cumulative means breaks in employment are allowed and equivalent part-time experience counts too. This is the option that keeps the door open if you're not already working under the same employer. And option 4, if your job offer is for an occupation that requires a mandatory license under Ontario or Canadian law, and you already hold that valid license, you do not need to show any work experience at all. There is also special flexibility for few occupations here. If your occupation falls under NOC 33102, nurse aide, orderly, or patient service associates, NOC 33103, pharmacy assistants, or sub-major group 223, which includes technical occupations in engineering, then your 2 years of experience can come from related higher level occupation. For example, a pharmacy assistant job offer can be supported by your work experience as a pharmacist, and a nurse aide job can be supported by your experience as a nurse. For those working in NOC 73300 as transport truck drivers and NOC 73301 bus drivers, subway operator, and other transit operators, you would still need a minimum of 6 months of consecutive paid full-time work experience, even if you are a recent Ontario graduate or have a valid license. You do not fall under those exemptions. The minimum language requirement for this pathway is CLB 6 in all modules, but if your job offer falls under a listed skilled trade occupation, then you can even be eligible with CLB 5 in all 4 modules. One more requirement that often gets missed: education. For this pathway, you need a post-secondary degree or diploma that took at least 1 year of full-time study, either from Canadian institution or its equivalent from another country. Of course, the equivalence needs to be verified through ECA report that is less than 5 years old. If your job offer is in a listed skill trade, a high school diploma or equivalent is also enough. Pathway 2, Tier 4 and 5 occupations. We know that many essential occupations do not require university education but are still critical to the province's economy. That's why this pathway focuses on Tier 4 and 5 occupations. Depending on Ontario's labor market needs, this pathway may benefit workers employed in sectors such as manufacturing, food processing, hospitality, agriculture, and other essential industries. To be eligible, you need to have 9 months of cumulative paid full-time work experience within the last 2 years of submitting your application. And here is the detail that changes everything. That experience must be in the job offer position itself, not just the same occupation somewhere else, the exact position with the same employer. In practice, this means Pathway 2 is really built for people who are already working for their Ontario employer. The minimum language requirement for this stream is CLB 4 in all 4 modules, which of course is lower than the high skill pathway, creating additional opportunities for many workers already contributing to the Ontario's economy. And for education qualification under this pathway, a high school diploma from Canada or its equivalent from another country is all you need. Please note, self-employed individuals are not eligible to apply under workforce priority stream. The only exception is self-employed physicians, which have a separate pathway under this stream, which we're going to discuss. So coming to third pathway, self-employed physicians. Ontario has created a dedicated pathway for eligible self-employed physicians. Unlike the other 2 pathways under the Ontario Workforce Priority Stream, this pathway does not require you to have a job offer from an Ontario employer if you fulfill these 2 requirements. First, you are eligible to receive payment for publicly funded health services, which means you have a OHIP billing number. Second, you are a member in good standing with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario holding an eligible certificate of registration, which is for independent practice or academic practice or a provisional certificate. One quick clarification here. If you only hold a postgraduate education license, you are not eligible under this physician pathway, but you may still qualify though under the job offer route that we discussed earlier. So that's the eligibility side of all 3 pathways. But eligibility is only step 1. Meeting all the requirements gets you into pool. It does not get you an invitation. Once you register your expression of interest, Ontario will score your profile out of a maximum of 130 points and rank you against every other candidate in the pool. So now let's discuss the factors on the basis of which your profile will be scored. These factors are mainly categorized into 4 groups: employment and labor market factors, education, language, and regionalization. And together they tell you exactly who Ontario really wants. First, employment and labor market factors. This includes scoring based on several sub-factors. Your tier category. Tier category is determined by the second digit of the NOC code of your occupation. Maximum points if your job is under tier category 0 or 1, which gets you 9 points, 6 points for tier 2 or 3, and unfortunately no points for a job under tier category 4 and 5. You will also be scored based on your NOC broad occupational category, which is determined by the first digit of your NOC code. Health occupations get the maximum, 10 points. Trades and transport get 8. Natural and applied sciences get 6. Most other categories, including business and management, get 4. And sales and service occupations just get 2 points. So, if you're wondering which sectors Ontario is prioritizing, this factor is your answer. Healthcare first, trades right behind. Next, based on hourly wage, you would also get scored. The more you get paid per hour, the more you will score. If it's $40 or over, you will get maximum points, which is 15 points. Whereas if you are getting paid $20 per hour or less, then there's no points. Based on work experience in Ontario, the scores under this are determined by whether that experience is in the job offer position or not. Maximum points for work experience over 24 months in the job offer position, and that maximum is 18 points, the single biggest score factor on the entire grid. If your experience is in Ontario but not in the job offer position, you can still score points, just on a lower scale. You will also be scored based on the notice of assessment issued by CRA in the last 5 years to you. Income over 70K in a year gets maximum points, which is 8, whereas under 30K, you get no points. Most of the applicants are work permit holders, so this is a bonus as you get points for that too. Based on your legal status in Canada, maximum points if you have a valid work permit, which is 10 points. If you have a valid study permit, 5 points, and 0 if you don't have either. Then coming to education score, you will be scored based on 2 sub-factors under this. First is your highest level of education. Second, how many education credentials from Canada you have obtained. For your highest level of education, a doctorate degree gets the maximum 10 points, a master's get 8, and so on. And if you hold more than 1 Canadian credential, that is another 10 points on the top of that. Then coming to language, you will be scored based on your language proficiency test results. And here is the detail that catches people. Your points are based on your lowest CLB level across all the 4 modules, not the average. CLB 9 or higher in every module gets you maximum of 15 points, so even one weak module can drag your entire language score down. If you have both English and French test results, you will be scored based on the test that has higher CLB. In addition, you can get extra points for language proficiency in both official languages, 10 points instead of 5, as long as you have CLB 6 or higher in all the modules of both language tests. Coming on to regionalization. This factor is the most unique one that has been introduced. You will also be awarded points based on the location of your work. If it's in Northern Ontario, you will get maximum, that is 15 points. Eastern, Central, and Southwestern Ontario get 10 points inside the GTA, but outside Toronto just get 5. And Toronto itself, 0 points. Seems like Ontario wants more newcomers to be living and working outside Toronto and GTA for the overall growth of economy. And Ontario is even willing to pay up to 15 points for it. That being said, if 2 persons have the same profiles in terms of occupation, education, pay rate, language test results, etc. However, one of them is working in Toronto, whereas other is working in Northern Ontario, the one working in Northern Ontario will have 15 more points than the other and obviously a better chance. That's all about scoring factors. If you are currently working in Ontario or planning to move here, it's worth understanding how this new pathway could fit into your long-term immigration strategy. As I always say, remember that just being eligible under a certain stream does not guarantee you an invitation to apply. Eligibility is not equal to selection. As the UI portal relaunches and more details and invitation rounds are announced, we'll have a better understanding of which occupations are receiving invitations and what scores are considered competitive. And once that starts happening, I will make a separate video to discuss the practicality of this new stream and who will actually be selected under this stream. Till then, if you're residing inside Ontario and waiting, the only thing you can do is look to improve your score if possible, whether that's a stronger language test result, looking for better career opportunity, or moving to a different job location. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates like this. If you have questions about the Ontario Workforce Priority Stream, leave a comment below, or you can book a consultation if you want to know your eligibility and your exact score under this new scoring factor grid. I'd be happy to help. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.